If you're hesitating about doing this, just ask yourself how many other things you're doing that won't bring as much value as this exercise can give you, and how much time you are giving to somebody else, but you are hesitating of offering that same precious time to yourself and who you can become next year. The value of such a reflection exercise is learning from the past and then get some sort of direction.
Stop letting others encroach on what I can tolerate. In the name of being gentle and compassionate.
The moment I stop letting the fear of being judged by others be greater than my desire to pursue my calling, I become unstoppable.
It felt kind of scary, this whole big year coming over just in a few days, like a big project. And now with these goals written down, I feel like, okay, next year is going to be great, actually.
Give yourself a chance to be who you want to be. That's my encouragement for the end of the year. We are back with a new episode on purpose. Let's go.
We go close? We're close? Maybe that.
Hello, welcome back to a new episode on Purpose. I'm Super V and I have with me Mila today. Hi Mila.
Hi, so we're back to the same coffee place as we did last time. We're doing a video to set our goals for 2026.
Join us in this exercise as we have gathered some methods and frameworks to think about our mood board and visions for life, personal goals, and professional achievements. The exercise is following the video from Mel Robbins, which is called How to Make 2026 the Best Year. And this proposes we answer 6 main questions about I'm going to tag this video up. So these 6 questions are going to make us reflect about our previous year and plan for what Mel is calling the best year ever, 2026. Let's get into it. Why it's important to have this sort of reflections of what happened in the last 12 months of the years has to do with, number one, acknowledging how much life happened and how many experiences you've been through. And then also taking a stock of all the best decisions that you made, but also some of the mistakes. And then trying to understand what were the moments that taught you something about how you want to pursue life. The value of such a reflection exercise is learning from the past and then get some sort of direction for how you want the future year to happen based on that. Another reason why reflecting about the past is so important has been proven by scientific research, where they show that if you spend a moment to even write a small letter to yourself about where have you been, where you are now, and where you want to be in the future, it's proven that even this small act can induce behavioral change in your day-to-day life. So just the fact that you're acknowledging the need of change in your brain is going to rewire it and introduce new parameters that are shaping your behavior in your day-to-day life. So, number one question. Can you please introduce our number one question, Mila?
Yeah, first question, what were the low points of your year?
Great. Let's take a few moments to reflect about this, and we can use our phone gallery to scan a bit through everything that happened in this year and realize, unfortunately, remembering some of those low dopamine, low oxytocin moments in our life. Let's do it. So I finished responding to this question, but I'm not going to get into the details, of course. There are just some big thematic categories that came up. My takeaway is that going through the phone gallery shows how many better moments I had, actually. Surprising. Going through my memories to realize that actually the low points were big, but also they were sprinkled across a lot of moments of success and achievement, and almost become insignificant when I look at them from a broader perspective.
For sure you don't want to share the details.
I can just say I see 3 big buckets. I see a bucket of emotional / romance, and then I see a bucket of work and too much work, and then this is closely related to health. So basically my lowest points in 2025 have been related to crushing, working too much, and health, feeling unhealthy.
Yeah.
And you?
So I have 3 big ones. I don't mind sharing the details for a lovely audience. I know you won't judge. So the first one is finishing up a dissertation half-heartedly about a topic that I did not feel connected to at all because I was too afraid to stand up for myself, for my intellectual passion. That's one. And two is chasing after a relationship in the romance category that was mostly powered by the energy that I myself was putting into. Then third one is accepting a job offer because I know that was the only decision that would be approved by my dad. And confirming my intuition before accepting the job offer that as the days go by, I only felt less and less fulfilled on the job.
Thank you very much for sharing this. I hope you now feel inspired to gather your lowest points with the same sort of honesty as we did. Let's move next to the next question. Maybe just explain a bit why it's so important to focus on your lowest moments. What's the value in doing that? Why in your right mind would you go back and focus on those moments? Well, apparently there is scientific proof showing that you need to process the hard moments in order for you to be able to move. You can't just choke down the emotions and pretend those things didn't happen, because actually it comes back in the form of higher cortisol levels and stress and unsolved problems that reflect in worse health state. Do you have anything to add? And also, why is it so important to look at the lowest point is to understand what didn't work, and also maybe work on your boundaries and understand what were the decisions leading you to those moments, and then also try to put in place mechanisms to stop yourself from getting back into those situations. Obviously, once we did look at what were the lowest moments in 2025, we also need to look at what were our high moments. So the second question you should ask yourself is, what were the high moments in 2025? Go back to your camera roll and scroll again, and then see and put those moments down. Let's do it. We're back with our highest moments in 2025. And this time I can share wholeheartedly what happened.
Yeah,
So you go ahead. You start.
I'll start. So I have four. One is starting to learn the cello and having my first recital in New York.
Learning a new musical instrument. Great.
And then second, deepening my friendship with some of my most cherished friends, including you back in Beijing.
Thank you very much.
Then being able to continue to work in the field of development and contribute to something more than the riches of the elites. And the last one, starting to be more aware of my professional orientation, which is personal psychology and occupational well-being, and making efforts towards a career transition. What about you?
That's very well organized. I continue using the methods of just going through a camera roll. So starting from January, learning how to snowboard and doing my first black slope in Nozawa. Woo! I still remember the feeling. Starting my YouTube channel, and welcome and thank you for being here. Talking to 1,400 people about my current job and inspiring them to believe that they can do it. That was a highlight. Going to Seoul and getting my first tattoo ever, finally, not being concerned about what's gonna happen once I have it. Going to see the cherry blossoms on the Great Wall. First time in Africa, Busan, with my best friend. Getting my novel accepted and going to the US for the first time. Having my squad reunited after more than 5 years abroad. Making a new great friend. The biggest one, realizing I don't give a duck anymore. And please notice what happened after. Launching my biggest creative project on YouTube and everything related. Getting my first 100 views. Hiking the Tiger Leaping Gorge alone. You can check the video here. Going to Boiler Room in Beijing, crashing for a good person, and performing on stage for the second time. These are my highlights in 2025.
Which was so beautiful. Can we maybe show a clip of that?
Sorry?
We should show a clip of that too.
About what?
Of you going on stage for the second time.
No, that's
Just
private.
saying.
Okay, moving on. Are you ready? So, what did you learn this year, Mila?
I start again.
Yes, if you want.
Yeah, I said it's really hard for me to ask for too much. And then continue with that, I deserve more than I thought I did, and that I could really get them. Then second, I can bring a shit ton of value to my friends, colleagues, parents, and strangers. And then third one, something really beautiful can be built on stable, empowering friendships. Last one, I love psychology. I've always loved it and will keep loving it.
Great, thank you. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just the main things that came. Number one, let's see. That the moment I stop letting the fear of being judged by others be greater than my desire to pursue my calling, I become unstoppable. So the moment I stop giving a basically I go all in on what I want to do without being afraid that I'm going to be judged. And the fact that when you accept what is in your control and what is outside of your control, you can call that freedom of being. At least that's a philosophy. Now my number one. Number two is don't use romance fantasy to escape the uncomfortable reality of chasing the dreams that matter the most. And number three is that I am an all-in poker player in all of my human relationships, but I shouldn't do this in romance and be a conservative banker instead. So next time you come to me with a romantic proposal, expect a very clear-cut due diligence processes in place and no poker playing games this time. Number four, I should never trust myself when I'm tired and should pay better attention at my body's health battery because health is the most important asset we have. And finally, everyone is trying to figure it out. So I might as well just not be embarrassed by trying my best and giving a lousy try at the goals I want to achieve.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
That's it. What about you guys? Let us know in the comments what you have learned this year. And don't be embarrassed. So Mel is also trying to explain now why it's so important to do that yearly review, because you might not be aware of what you've learned and what you've integrated in your mindset if you don't go back and realize what were the low points, the high points, the good decisions, bad decisions to inform better habits in the new year. Now that we have reflected on things that didn't work the way we wanted them to work and our highest moments and then some of the lessons we took away, it's time for us to use one of the framework that is used by most global companies and decide what we're going to stop doing, what we're going to start doing, and what we're going to continue doing. And I am most excited about the start doing, honestly, because I feel like I already have quite good habits in place. What about you?
Already.
What are you most excited about? Start or continue?
Definitely stop.
Okay,
Because I say yes to too many things.
good. Let's do this. We are back again with our stop in 2026. I'm
Hard
going
stop.
to.
Yeah.
So Mel is suggesting you to reflect on which are those areas in your life where you should stop doing things. For example, quit exhaustion, quit distraction, quit controlling, quit all those stuff that are not helpful towards you pursuing who you want to become in the next year. So in my case, that means stop some parts of my personality that are hijacking me in life dimensions, such as stop giving too much, too fast to people who only like to take away. Second, stop dating for... It doesn't even matter. Stop dating. That's it. Stop working too much and focus on efficiency at lowest investment instead. Stop being so hard on myself. Stop postponing implementing the life I want for different reasons or because of different habits that are not helpful. And stop reflecting too much and second guessing yourself. Just do it. What about you?
Okay, I said some similar things. But one, stop letting others encroach on what I can tolerate in the name of being gentle and compassionate.
AKA people pleaser.
Okay, AKA. And then second, stop trying too hard in the name of pushing through and testing or proving my resilience.
Yes, I'm gonna steal that one.
Yeah, please. Third, stop being too unbalanced in taking my own responsibilities versus letting others take their own responsibilities.
Nice.
That's it for me.
That's great. You seem much more focused. Great. We're coming to the second part of the framework, which is about continuing. And I think Mel is suggesting that you're looking at those high moments in your list to understand which were the things that inspired you and the moments where you felt energized, and the lessons that those moments taught you that you have to take with you so that you multiplicate these high moments. Let's work on it. So, Mila, what will you continue doing in 2026?
I will continue doing three things. First, I'll continue to turn what I'm passionate about into what I do while advocating for its financial value. Two, I'll continue to suggest and create meaningful gatherings like this. And then lastly, I'll continue to say yes to my heart, even when others are saying no with their brains.
Beautiful. I love this. I will continue being intentional about the life I'm building, be courageous and vulnerable in the process. I will continue to not be afraid of conflict or changing paths when needed. I will continue to work out consistently because health is very important, including going on hikes and having dedicated time and a holiday for myself. And I will continue trusting that I'm on the right path even in my lowest moments and experiencing every day as a win regardless of the emotions I felt that day. And lastly, I will continue to learn and be open to improve myself while aware of what matters to me and protecting what is already decided that's part of me. So not just trying to flimsily shape myself to suit what other things I should be. What about you guys? Let us know what you will continue doing this year. Now, finally, this is the question of the year. What will you start doing in 2026? Honestly, I find this the most challenging. So let's get down to trying to understand. Are you ready for the final, most awaited conclusion question? Let's go. What will you start doing in 2026?
So I have 3 points. First one, I'm going to practice my artistic skill for at least 2/3 of the year, which means 3 out of 4 seasons of a year. It's 3 months out of a season and 5 out of 7 days in a week. I'm going to start focusing on myself much more, my convictions, my beliefs, biases, preferences, and my dreams. And finally, start asking for and moving things towards my own version of an ideal world, a healthier way of being. Yours, Bianca.
I am going to start doing and being in doing, which sounds funny, but actually I focus so much on reflecting in 2025 that is finally start doing. So what I'm going to start doing in 2026 is just start doing the things that I reflected about last year. So number one, start implementing some ideas under Super Beehive, traveling much more in China and sharing this with you. And also, just actually the most important one, consistently catch up with my most important humans and become a source of motivation and purpose methods that your you can do it body. That's it. Just start doing. 2026, start doing, start going with the flow, think less, don't think type of year. Let's go.
I love to start doing what you said you're gonna start doing.
Yeah. Guys, we are done and you should be done too. First of all, how are you guys feeling? How do you feel, Mila, now?
I feel much more grounded. I feel much more sure and happy about the upcoming year. It felt kind of scary, this whole big year coming over just in a few days, 2 weeks. It felt like a big project. And now with these goals written down, I feel like, hey, next year is going to be great, actually.
Everyone should be doing this. And honestly, if you haven't tried it before, just try it, because putting your ideas down on paper is the first thing you can do to turn into a tangible thing. Your idea and a goal you have in your mind is the first way in which you can transform an idea into reality, because you're putting it on the paper. And I really like the conclusions that Mel is drawing, the fact that you are putting into reality a version of yourself you're working towards. This sort of reflection at the end of the year is your first chance of actually committing to you becoming that version of yourself that you might maybe you have postponed that, maybe you were too afraid of looking back and seeing who you've been because maybe you are not where you want to be in life. But doing this sort of exercise is the first thing you have to do to make those small improvements and hopefully get closer to who you secretly, fundamentally want to be inside. Any other
Beautiful
thoughts
closing.
about the exercise, about this video, about anything that you want to share with your audience or encouragements?
I would actually encourage people to try out doing this exercise with another close friend of yours, because I would probably personally never do this exercise if I watched this video of Mel Robbins and, it could just quickly pass my mind and, I'll just keep doing what I'm going to do, on a daily basis, but never have this dedicated time window to sit down and reflect. I think for me, these past few hours in this coffee shop has been really enriching and meaningful to me personally. To hear what you're focusing on, maybe I can also be an accountability partner for you and we can check in with each other from time to time. I think having another person be on this yearly journey, at least for the next year, with you is really something that's worth trying.
And guys, we are living in a world where finally these resources are out there for free. So the fact that you can watch this sort of video or that you can do this sort of exercise, it's already such a great tool you have to change your life in the way you want to go. And if you're hesitating about doing this, just ask yourself how many other things you're doing that won't bring as much value as this exercise can give you, and how much time you are giving to somebody else, but you are hesitating of offering that same precious time to yourself and who you can become next year, just by doing small improvements. Or if you don't want to have a big vision board for next year, you can just go, with the flow. But even that flow, the vision you have for how it can go, can benefit of you reflecting on everything that happened last year, on cheering for your small or big achievements, and for seeing your life from a vantage point to understand that maybe your worst moments weren't that dramatic or that traumatic, or that they have been counterbalanced by beautiful memories, moments worth cherishing, and by people who are making you want to become better every day and do something for yourself and for the community you're part of. So
I love that counterbalance.
give yourself a chance to be who you want to be. That's my encouragement for the end of the year. And let us know what you guys thought. And thank you so much, Mel Robbins. You are a source of inspiration. I hope one day I'm going to be inspiring people like you're doing. And thank you for sharing all of these super useful resources with us on YouTube. See you guys next time.